Welcome back if you just joined us. Our guest on this episode of Question Time is the Minister of Water Resources, Engineer Suleiman Adamu. He'll be talking about the efforts in providing water to support federal government's key projects like agriculture and other sectors of the economy. Tell us how far you've gone in luring foreign investors to partner in developing the water sector in Nigeria.
Well, you know, we're in a society where people believe water is a right, and several efforts have been made in the last 1 or 2 decades to get people to understand that water is a commodity that needs to be paid for, just like you pay for electricity. So no international investor will want to come to Nigeria to invest in the water supply sector in particular when the general, the conventional wisdom here is that water is a free commodity. Unless this a situation comes, we're able to evolve in such a way that people know that they have to pay for the water. Because the investor will not put money and provide water for free. He wants to recoup his investment.
Now, let me take you to the Memorandum of Understanding signed with China by the Nigerian government a few days ago. What should Nigerians expect from this MOU?
Well, I think essentially that was to do some major infrastructure like railways and maybe the power sector. For the water sector, you know, we have potentials for hydro schemes, and I hope that from that cooperation we can have some funds channeled so that we can develop some of the hydro potential that we have, and those hydro schemes are bankable because the investment can be recouped. The money can be recovered over years. By maybe selling bulk power. So such kind of projects, this ministry has quite a number of them lined up.
What are your plans in assisting the federal government in driving its cardinal program of developing sectors with low-hanging fruits like the agricultural sector?
Well, we have over 100,000 hectares of irrigable land in Nigeria. Unfortunately, it's not something to celebrate because it's just under 10% of the potential irrigable land in this country. But that is something we have for start. And what we want to do is to at least improve the irrigability of this arable land, of this land that we have, and the dams that we have to support it. So my priority, honestly, is to concentrate on the ongoing projects which we inherited. And there are quite a number of them, a lot of irrigation projects, also hydro, you know, some of them to support the pumping system for the irrigation, but some that can have excess energy that can also be used by the communities and so on.
Now, let's look at the expectations at the international frontiers. The UN's Sustainable Development Goals 2 and 6 is hinged on water resources and food security. What are you doing in meeting up with these international mandates?
Well, you know, this ministry will not work alone. So we definitely have collaborative, we are supposed to have some collaboration with Ministry of Agri. We're waiting for them to have their plans. We have already discussed I have had discussion with the Minister of Agriculture that we need to be talking. So, but I know our position is very clear. We provide the infrastructure at least for dry season farming at least. And also we have a lot of land that can support the agricultural policy. And we'll continue to improve on that. And all the programs that we are having are geared towards that.
Now, let's look at some of the challenges that the water resources is facing right now, and that's the problem of irrigation. Developing our irrigation, what are you doing about this?
Well, challenges First of all, we have to understand what are the challenges. Technology, some of the irrigation systems are not gravity-based. You have to pump, you need energy. Some irrigation systems have been allowed to deteriorate. There has been no maintenance of irrigation canals, and so which we have to fix. There are lots of projects that are ongoing or abandoned that have the potential to support hundreds of thousands of families, but due to lack of regular budgetary allocation, they've had to be abandoned. Now this we have to support and try to finish. And then of course the institutional arrangement, the river basins, which we still have to come back to, because they are the ones that manage these systems. So they have to be positioned to be able to do their job.
It's been reported that most of the dams are in poor states. What are you doing to find solution to put this, to keep this dam maintained?
Yes, I'm happy with this question. You know, in this country, we start a project, maybe there have been dams that were supposed to provide irrigation, there were dams that were supposed to provide water supply. Some have been built 30, even 40 years ago. But the other components, the irrigation company or the water supply company has not been there. You can't build a dam and lock it up for 30, 40 years and expect it to function the way it was designed. So we have problem now, our dams have silted up, many of them. The design capacity is not what you have. Probably some of them are operating at 20, 30, I mean, not operating, but the storage capacity has been reduced to maybe 20, 30%, maybe even less. That is a serious problem. Some of these dams are being assessed now under the trimming project, some of the major dams, to look at the level of siltation. Sometimes if the siltation gets too bad, you don't have a choice. You probably have to build another dam elsewhere and demolish the one that you have because it will no longer provide the service it is meant for.
Let's come to the issue of drainage now, which most states is reported to have lack of proper drainage. What is your ministry doing, or what plans do they have in finding solutions to this challenge?
I think that is a local problem. Some of the problems associated with that have to do with lack of or poor development control. People build on water courses, roads are built without drainage, and so on and so forth. I think the main drainage I'll be concerned with is the main water drainage, the national drainage through the catchment.
What are your intervention plans in tackling flooding?
First of all, the riparian communities have to go back to, to start moving away from encroaching onto the banks of the rivers. But technically, there are solutions. Some of these dams, some of the rivers, they're full of sediments. Dredging is one example, like River Niger can be dredged. On River Benue, we are commissioning a study to maybe there's a proposal to do 1 or 2 dams which can be multipurpose, provide hydropower, provide irrigation systems, and also there will be effective checks against flooding.
Now let's go to the core north, where some states are experiencing drought and desertification, desert encroachment. What are you doing to find solutions to this?
One thing we do, let's start with the hydrometeorology. We can do forecasts and advice, but this is all linked to the climate change problem, that is facing the whole world. You can see clearly what is happening to Lake Chad. I think it's a tough one. We have dams to help support because of the erratic nature of the rainfall. So we have the dams that we are doing. We need to expand our irrigation systems. States and local governments are also in their own small ways doing small earth dams here and there to conserve water. But again, I think one thing that I must say here, and I've said it in the course of briefings that I've had when I became minister, you don't hear much talk about conserving our water resources. Everybody is looking for water, more water, but we have not started putting conservation measures into our water resources management.